it's 2.5 weeks before we celebrate the Feast of Pentecost. And I was listening to Thought for Today at Radio 4 this morning, and Fiona Stewart, a Christian artist, was talking about how she colours and rescues broken pottery. Apparently it's a Japanese tradition, and lines them with gold. And it really spoke to me because when I look back on my life, before coming to Christ, I was that piece of broken pottery. And since that time, when I was 20 years old, the Lord has been rebuilding me and fashioning me, but still, in many senses, I'm that broken piece of pottery that the Lord chooses in his wisdom to beautify. And, you know, Paul the Apostle said that he's counts everything as dung compared to the riches of the glory of knowing Christ. And when Jesus died on the cross, it's as if he went to the dunghill of humanity and took the stench of sin upon himself and carried it willingly, unflinchingly, and bore it for all of us, so that rather than the stench of death and rottenness of the trash pile and the refuse, that we might be drawn out of that pit of hell and refreshed and renewed, glorified and beautified, and give us the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that we might be rejoicing in the servants of the Lord. And this is the work of the Holy Spirit. This is the work of the Lord in our hearts as we allow him to. And yet in our own selves, in my own self, all I am is a broken piece of pottery. But I'm in the Master's hands. And in another illustration, in another vignette, if you like, we are to be clay in the Master's hand, pliable, moldable, so that the potter can fashion a beautiful vase, or if you're in America, a vase of great beauty, which is the Lord's making, not us. The clay doesn't say to the potter, I want to be made like this. The clay simply yields to the Lord. And although we might feel like we're broken pottery, shards on the refuse of this world, and that certainly is how the world views us, yet in the Lord's hands, he makes that hard brokenness into something beautiful and fresh and new, clay that the Master forms a vessel for his own glory. And that is the beauty, the glory of the new birth. And I was thinking about today's gospel, which is from St. John chapter 15, and it's one of my favorite passages because this was the passage that spoke to my heart the very night of my conversion. And that made me think about, my roots, which are totally in the human sense, in depredation and sin and nothing glorious at all. And yet, in the Lord's eyes, he makes you and he makes me something beautiful out of a complete disaster. So be encouraged today, whatever you are going through, you don't look just at the externals, but know that Jesus Christ is working his wondrous work in you. And all we have to do is say, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. Thanks so much. It's John Ruffle for Shalom Charismatic Community. We have our Zoom meeting tonight, 8 p.m. British Summer Time, so hopefully we'll see you there. God bless.